Hi Cancer, I'm Colleen Pearl and welcome to my channel, The Cool Crone. In today's video, we're going to be doing a tarot card reading to predict what's happening in November. Now Mercury goes direct on the 3rd, which means that everything that you've been waiting for is finally going to happen in November. Alright, let's get into the reading. Okay Cancer, I've laid these cards out in 4 columns of 4 cards each. So the first column is week 1, the second column is week 2, and so on. All right, let's get going. So for the beginning of November, you start off with a bang. The final major arcana card, the World, which means that in November, or the beginning of November, you are closing out a cycle, a chapter, a book of your life. You are finishing up something, completing something, and moving on to the next thing. But before you move on, you have to completely close out of this cycle. And the card that follows this is the Six of Wands. This is a card usually that denotes victory of some kind. So you're moving on with a vengeance. You're moving on because you've succeeded totally in what you were doing. You're completely finished, you've graduated, and off you go. So that's really good. The next card is the Ace of Wands. Terrific! This means you're starting something brand new on the heels of finishing this very successful chapter of your life, and you're going to love it. You're going to be successful. You're going to feel inspired and just on fire with all the ideas that you're going to bring forth. So wands usually have to do with our identity. So in this new phase of your life, in this new chapter, you are staking your claim. You're showing what your brand is. You're showing who you are, and you're proclaiming to the world that I'm this now. I'm new. I'm different than I was before, and this is what I am. And then the next card, this is great. These are such great cards, is the Sun. So that means you have great success, great vitality and energy for this project, and and you're just definitely going to succeed. It's just going to be a really happy venture. So just a bang-up beginning to the month right off the bat. Now, the second week is a little different, but it would be. You couldn't get any better than what that first week was. So in the second week, you have the sense of loss. Now, this is a minor arcana. You had 2 major arcanas and an ace in the first week. So that's pretty high up there. The minor arcana of the Three of Swords indicates grief in some form. And the way I read this card usually, and I'm usually right, is that it isn't necessarily a loss about something that you just experienced. It's usually a loss that happened in the past, and it could be the past month, the past year, whatever, but it's not something that happened just right now. So don't think that all this new stuff is going to be taken away just because you're experiencing a loss. It could be that something in what you were doing here, or in order to close out this first cycle, that something reminded you of a painful part of your life that you have to grieve. Okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody died or that you're grieving over somebody who died in the past. It could just be a painful moment, a painful encounter that you just have to deal with. Okay, the next card is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles talks about a craftsperson who is honing their craft and getting very good at their craft. It also indicates somebody who's very, very busy. So I think with your new project, you are going to be very, very busy. And you may feel like you have to learn things, but why not? I mean, why do we do things that are new except to learn? And the whole joy of starting up this whole new endeavor is that you are going to learn new things, and you are going to be challenged in some way. That's life, and that's exciting. So you may be even taking some training to do your new thing. And that's also indicated by the Eight of Pentacles. Now the next card is the Eight of Swords. And I'm not surprised that you're getting this card, because very often when people have had a very successful road in their life and they change, it's all great at first and you feel wonderful and there's lots of enthusiasm, and then reality sets in, right? And then you really start trying to master whatever it is you're doing, and you're frustrated because in your previous life you were the master, you were the expert, and it's no fun to all of a sudden have to start over. And when the enthusiasm kind of wears off, you get a little frustrated and down. And that's what this card is saying, that you're feeling kind of locked in, like you just can't do what it is that you want to do. But just realize that it's all a part of the process, and try to enjoy this part as well. Because the next card is really good. The next card is the Four of Pentacles. This means that there are monetary rewards and maybe even health benefits to what you are doing, because pentacles are both the body and health as well as money. So know that there is great reward for you on this new endeavor, and that any kind of loss or feelings of sadness that you have to go through are really pertaining to the previous chapter of your life that you are closing out and graduating from. The next card for the week 3 is the Queen of Wands, and she is a queen of action. She's very capable. She's a very strong, organized person, but she likes to be busy. Wands are typically fire signs, so I'm not sure that this is you. But a Queen of Wands is going to be somebody who has a lot of balls in the air, has a lot of stuff going on. She's very capable. She's managing everything very, very well. And she's accomplished. She's a very accomplished woman. She's not somebody who's just flying by the seat of her pants. She really knows what she's doing. It could be you. It could be somebody else, a fire sign person who's close to you. And that's in the 3rd week of November. And just following her is the King of Wands. So I don't think you can be both of those people. Anyway, my intuition is telling me that these are people around you. And so because of the ending of the 2nd week where you were feeling a little frustrated, I'm thinking that these two people, the King and Queen of Wands, who are oh so capable and oh so enthusiastic and supportive and cheerful and happy to be around, maybe they're helping you. Maybe they're helping you with one-on-one training or mentoring or just support, just encouragement. So that's really nice for the 3rd week of November. And then we come to the next card, which is the Two of Wands. Now you've progressed from the Ace of Wands, which is where you started in your little journey here. The Two of Wands says, okay, we have made a beginning. Now I'm going down the road and I'm trying to decide which way to go. And based on my experience, I don't know, because I don't have much experience in this area. So this is something you're going to have to grapple with. Now, the King and Queen of Wands may be able to help you with this decision, or they may be able to guide you as to what you should look at, what should you consider in making this decision more appropriately. Because if you let them just make the decision for you, of course, you're not learning as much. And then we have the Knight of Cups, another person in your immediate vicinity who's going to be supportive. The Knight of Cups always brings support and love and goodwill. So this is probably somebody who has a good friendship with you, somebody who knows you pretty well, and just wants to lend a helping hand, but in the form of encouragement, not necessarily doing it for you, but just somebody who's very, very encouraging and in your corner. Cancers always love that, right? Don't you just love to have somebody who's really in your corner, really helping you? I know, it's kind of like having a fan club, and I know cancers love that. Okay, next card. This is a very nice reading, but I mean, there are some challenges here. Don't worry, but it's a very nice reading. So the next card that you have for the final week in November starts off with the Fool. Now, the Fool also connotes somebody who's starting out on some new journey. And in this case, it could be that the choices that you're making, people feel like are a little reckless, or it could be they just don't understand why you are doing them. They may not judge them as reckless. They may just say, but that's not her. That's not that we've never, or him. We've never seen them do something like that. So remember, though, that you have started out a new beginning in which you are branding yourself. You are declaring to the world that you're new. You're somebody new. So that's why people are seeing your actions as unfathomable, because they just don't understand. So you have to go back and explain to them who you are now, what you're doing, why you're doing this new thing. And as you go along this new journey, unfortunately, there are going to be some things that really shake up the whole foundation of your life. And that's the next card, is the Tower. Now, the Tower doesn't necessarily mean that everything is destroyed. It means that where there is a shaky foundation, things will fall down. So that could be a very good lesson to learn about this new endeavor that you're on. So, you know, it isn't great. Nobody wants to see someone's accomplishments kind of fall to the wayside, but it could also be extremely informative for you. So try to see it as in a positive light. Rely back on your King of Wands, your Queen of Wands, and your Knight of Cups, and see if they can help you figure out if you did something wrong or just what you can learn from this situation. The next card is the Seven of Pentacles. So you must not have done so much wrong, because the Seven of Pentacles means that you are gathering a harvest. The person in this card is looking up at the tree and has all sorts of fruit to gather. They're pentacles, they're not real fruit, but that's what the symbolism means. That you will have a bounty to gather and to share if you choose. So that's not a bad thing for the end of the month. And the very final card is the Three of Wands. So in this reading, you've gone from Ace to 2 to 3. So you really are making progress on your way to telling the world that you have a new identity. And I don't know what the cause of this new identity is, but I do know that it's happy, that you finished out something, you completed a chapter in your life, you were victorious, and now you started a new chapter of your life, declaring to the world, I am this, I am something new, whatever it is new. And at the end of this reading, at the end of this month rather, for November, you are looking out on the world and saying, this is what I've accomplished, this is pretty good. So that's very successful. Yes, there are some bumps in the road, there are some things that you have to deal with, but like all journeys, you're going to learn things, and that's really, really good. So Cancer, that's your reading for November. Quite the eventful month. Please be sure to make a comment so that I know how this reading hit you, how you're feeling about this new journey that you're on. And if I were you, I would be sure to watch your rising sign as well. You'll get a lot of information out of that. Please be sure to like, that always helps the channel, and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. And thank you so much for watching.